Bonjour, je m'appelle Martine Lusignan et j'enseigne le français à ISNS. My name is Martine Lusignan and I am the DP French teacher here at ISNS as well as the World Language Head of Department. We offer French in MYP and DP. So it starts in grade 6. However, they also have the option to join French in grade 9. If they do so, they will do grade 9 to grade 12, and they might not have the same language acquisition as the one that started in grade 6, but by the end of the program, they will be able to have conversations in French. In the French program, there are two major components to the French program. The first one is language acquisition. The second one is the culture. When students are starting in grade 6, they don't know the language yet. We call that phase 1. They are beginner French. As they're learning French from grade 6 to grade 10, they usually move from phase 1 to phase 2 to phase 3. It takes approximately 2 years to change phases. By the time they start DP, they're usually ready to start DP in French B. French B is offered in two different levels, the standard level or the highest standard level. In the DP program here at ISNS, we usually have students that are learning the standard level. Currently, our grade 11 are phase 4, so they can communicate in French, they can read, write, pretty much anything in French. If student starts in grade 9, they will probably be in French ab initio. This means that they will end their phase 2 by the end of the grade 12. The connection between MYP DP is a very clear progression. We are looking at the topics, we're looking at the competencies, the skills, and the content. So for example, the topics in grade 6, lower MYP, students will start learning about daily life conversation and interaction, such as presenting yourself, talking about your daily life. And as they gradually learn more from grade 8, 9, and 10, they start learning about things that are more complex and more abstract. For example, in grade 10, they learn about the international French culture and they read a book, Le Petit Prince, The Little Prince, and they learn to talk about their own life, life of the future, and life of the past. In terms of content, students start to learn French with simple sentences. As we know, French is complex. The first thing that they need to know is vocabulary and the present tense. Then, as they're becoming more and more confident with the vocabulary they learned and the basic sentence structure, they start to go deeper into the grammar. So, verb conjugation and sentence structure is something that they will focus throughout the entire program because this is just the nature of French language. In terms of competencies, students are assessed in MYP on 4 different competencies, 2 that are receptive and 2 that are productive. They produce writing text and oral text, and they read and they also listen. Then when those 4 competencies are quite mastered, they move on to DP and they add one more, which is interactive competencies. And that is their final oral assessment, which is going to be a conversation of 10 to 15 minutes with the teacher. Each year, grade 6 to grade 10, students are working actively and explicitly on the same ATLs to deepen their skills. So from grade 6 to grade 10, for example, they could work on communication skills as their first ATL of the year, and then every year they get better at it. Throughout the French program in MYP, students will learn to develop all of their ATL skills, which are research skills, thinking skills, self-management skills, communication skills, and social skills. Students learn about the French community, which is an international community. They learn to be curious and interested in other cultures. This is such an important part of the IB program. At ISNS, we have a very vibrant but small French program community. Students feel safe. Students feel like they are here to engage with the teacher, with other students. They develop their social skills, their communication skills, but more than that, they develop this idea that we live in a global world and they become more of an open-minded citizen. To learn French, I think one of the first things you want to do is to be interested in the language, and because we usually learn French through oral, it would be to get familiar with the sounds, listening to music, maybe listening to people speaking French, understand the sound that is in French. Another thing I would say is try to read and be curious about the words that you can pick up from another language or a sentence structure. I think that learning French is all about being curious and being interested in something that you don't know. Au revoir! Merci et à la prochaine!